Hey, control the trade here. Let's take a quick look at Tesla TSLA. Today's February 17th, 2020. First, let's take a look at support resistance, some important numbers, and then I'm going to do a quick rant about Tesla and some of my opinions on the state of Tesla, the short sellers, and things like that. So looking at the numbers, first off, this is a very, very bullish chart. It's been a bullish chart for months, actually. As long as we're above all these important moving averages, it's bullish. It doesn't matter what the ticker is, this is a bullish chart. So you do not want to blindly short a chart that looks like this. We are above every major moving average. We're way above the 20 period moving average, which is good and bad because the way I learned is that the 20 period moving average is considered quote unquote home base, meaning that price and the moving averages usually like to converge at some point or at least try to get back down to that area, or the 20 period moving average will continue to move up to meet price in a higher level. The 50 period moving average is way down at 523.56, which is a very strong area of support collectively by the market. Everybody tends to respect the 50 period moving average. So we have a long way down. We also have a lot of gaps here. Here's a gap here. Let's see, I think 650. We had a close here and an open at 673.69. We almost kind of teased that we were going to go down there, I think, one day here. Let's see. Yeah, 687 was the low. I bet that tricked a lot of people into, shorting that, and then you got this ride up. So definitely be aware of those areas. The other side of the tape here is getting bullish again. If you have a lot of people that are just shorting this to short it, or people that are stuck in this, they're stuck all the way up here because they've probably been shorting it since 300 or 400 or 500, and they're waiting for a chance to get out. They're probably going to be hurt pretty badly up here as well because we're very close to another breakout. But honestly, this thing moves so fast and furious. I mean, most would not be surprised if we got back up to 1,000. We do have some overhead, but 845.98 right here is the high at this candle. We get above 820 on a close or even daily, like intraday, I mean, we're going to make a run for this 845.98. If we get above that, I think you're going to see a lot of short covering happening there and a lot of FOMO buying. And we'll try to test up here probably 880, 875, and then all the way up, to 968. No reason that can't happen. But it's really just been consolidating here. I see it as we're going to test this high here, and we'll see what happens from the 5th. So tomorrow will be very telling. To me, 819, 820 has been very important. I've been waiting for that area, thinking that we're going to break through this day, and I was wrong. 818 was the high here, hourly. But look at this nice hourly chart, by the way. That is really bullish. So it all depends how you look at it with time frame. But again, going back to the beginning of the video, it's a bullish chart. It is what it is. And if you want to get into Tesla, you might want to wait until the dust settles. Don't get FOMO. It will, I don't say it has to, it will come down. No one knows when. It could hit 1,000 first. It could hit 1,200 first before it comes back down. But if you look at the track record of Tesla, it goes through these kind of phases. And this is an extreme example because you have just a ridiculous amount of kind of nonsensical shorting that's going on with this. That's been happening for a long time. And if you just look up, there's some great videos on YouTube that I've seen that cover this topic about all the hedge funds that have been shorting Tesla. You've probably seen some of these guys on CNBC, like Chanos and I think Siegel and Einhorn. I mean, I don't understand these firms. They're basically like gamblers to me. They're not looking at the charts. If they're in January increasing their short position on Tesla, how does that make any sense? That just means, do you have nobody that is a technical, does technical analysis, or there's no chartist that understands that it's a bad idea to do that? I mean, I'm just a retail investor. This isn't a full-time thing for me, and from what I learned and I see on the charts every day, you never ever short into a bull market like that. It makes no sense whatsoever. You need a signal. You need a trend change, and especially something like Tesla. So I could go on and on about the Tesla short seller nonsense. And I've said this a million times on Twitter and different comments on different message boards or YouTube. When I see information about Tesla and people saying why it's happening, and they start talking about fundamentals, and I'm like, are you kidding me? You think that's why we moved up? It's the same reason why it's the short sellers the entire time that are responsible for this move. And that's the biggest irony, is that they complain about the price. It should not be this. They compare it to Ford. They compare it to GM. The irony is they keep shorting it. It keeps squeezing. Then you get everybody who says Tesla's the future. So you are kind of giving them confirmation bias that because then all the good news stories come out. So then they're all buying it up. And then you just get the regular mom and pop, my buddy who's just going and buying Tesla because he sees it going up every day and doesn't want to miss the party. So you have this combination of just madness. And meanwhile, the fundamentals have absolutely nothing to do with this price. I don't know how much more I could say that. There are traders out there that understand that. I don't understand why it's not talked about more. I guess I'm kind of glad it's not. It's not a mainstream kind of discussion. It usually always goes back to the fundamentals and deliveries of cars and all this nonsense in the truck. Like, who gives a shit? That stuff means nothing, especially in the short term. It just doesn't. The only thing that means anything is right now is the price and the chart and how it's moving. I wish it wasn't like that. I think it takes away the integrity of a company like Tesla and how they're trying to build a great business. And it's actually worked out for them, though, because now they have all this cash so that they can use that to actually, fulfill on what Elon wants to do in the future. I'd say there's a lot more confidence now when you go from $178 stock, not even a year ago, but 6 months ago or something, all the way up to almost 1,000 a share. And that's unbelievable. So there have been billions lost on this thing, which is crazy too. So this is a great opportunity to take advantage of these movements if you know how. If you know where the support and resistance are, this is such a great time to take advantage of this if you're a day trader or a swing trader. And a lot have. And there will be a great shorting opportunity too. Just don't do it blindly. Sure, you might get lucky. You just put it in short, and the next day, all of a sudden, it just drops 100 points or 200 points. That could easily happen, but you didn't do that because you made a wise decision. You flipped a coin is what happened. That's just a fact. You can't hold Tesla overnight unless you have a long-term plan that makes sense and maybe you have a good cost basis on it. But if you're buying it up here or shorting it up here, I would just consider that gambling if you don't have a plan, because it could go either way at any time. The next time we have some sort of negative news or it's interpreted or promoted or perceived as negative news, oh my goodness, there's going to be profit taking. The shorts are going to go crazy and jump all over that. And maybe we'll get some fluctuation. Maybe you'll have people buying at these support levels, which you usually would have in under normal circumstances. So I could go on and on about this. That's kind of a much longer rant than I anticipated. But going back to the beginning of the video, the practical part, just be aware of these important levels. That's what's so important for this. You will see a reaction down here around 650 to 675. There will be a reaction. Now, it could crash through that number. Maybe it's not strong support if it gets down there, and then you have this other gap here, 580.99 with an open at 632.42. From my recollection, I watched the charts like a hawk. 619 on the breakout when this first started to go up really high and fast and furious was really important for Tesla breaking out after hours. So that's one I would mark down as about 619, somewhere in that area. Anywhere from, let's say, 612 to 625, I would deem very important for support. And going lower than that, we're going to have a lot of psychological numbers. You're going to have 550, 500, of course, 420. If we get there, that's going to be unbelievable psychological support. Everyone's going to be watching that area. 525. Those big fat round numbers are usually watched. You have to look for where the breakout happened also, because price will probably revisit down there. So it's going to be an interesting run the next couple months, and we could see a big turn in Tesla. I think when you get all this hype and you get all these, retail traders and everybody wants to buy the stock, I think you can guess what's usually going to happen next. Just like the other way, they're going bankrupt. It's going to go to zero. There was that one analyst that said he has a $10, bear case on it, which was just nonsense too. And now, he's back on CNBC. How do you even face, how can you even be an analyst at that point? I mean, it's just silly to put information out like that. And I thought that was really irresponsible personally. I feel like that's a manipulation move, you know, to get everybody super bearish on it. And it seemed to work. All you need is a catalyst and then the herd follows. But right now we're kind of looking at, it's the opposite effect right now. And at some point this will settle back down into some let's call it quote unquote normal range. But right now, big fluctuations until there's not. Look up Tesla on YouTube, look it up, get other perspectives. Don't just watch, Ron Barron and Kathy Wood talk about it. They have long-term price targets on it that are very possible, but that doesn't mean anything today. And then don't listen to these rabid short sellers either, because I don't know what their agenda is, or maybe they just have no clue, but there are a lot of analysts out there that don't understand, and this is like a cliche now, they don't understand Tesla. They just don't. And it's kind of comical, really. So look that up. You'll find some great videos, great content on that. And don't be an extreme left or right with Tesla. Just kind of stay pragmatic about it and let the price kind of guide you versus the price in the chart versus any kind of media nonsense. That's it for now. I could probably talk about Tesla for an hour, but thanks for watching and good luck. And remember, don't let the trade control you.